It's a metal bro. Mental meltdown. Gaming in flames. Chris and Henrik bringing the thunderous rage. Video games and viral content. Venom case ripping through pixels. The ultimate game to get away. I'm feeling the rage. Chris Collins and HenricK on the stage, talking gaming news. Industry that can't escape. We're reviewing video games. No need to debate. They bring the heat, spitting truth non-stop with fiery words. They're ready to drop, making waves in the world of video games. Collins and HenricK, they don't play no games. From console wars to DLC scams, they expose it all, making sure no one jams. The audience fired up, ready to explode. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. You know it's a code. When rage quits on, you know it's a code. Rage quits. Rage quits. I'm losing my mind. Chris and Henrik, they're fucking gaming all the time. Rage quits. Rage quits. It's a love-hate affair, but I keep coming back. Ain't nothing else to compare. Rage quits. It's a love-hate affair.
What's good, gamers? What's raging? Welcome to Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. How you doing, HenricK the Wreck?
It's time to talk about some games, so I'm doing fantastic, Chris.
Right?
How about
I'm
yourself?
hoping you had a fabulous Thanksgiving break and happy
Oh,
holidays,
yeah.
right? Ho, 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 the gift that keeps
Yep.
on giving, because we got so much things to discuss in the gaming world, right, HenricK?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and plenty of games to talk about that are coming up, so stay tuned.
That's right. But before we even begin, we just want to let everybody know that we always appreciate you guys for always tuning in live every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, whether it is YouTube, Meta, and Twitch. And for those who haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, this QR code will lead you directly to the Chris Collins Show. So go ahead and hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And you see this QR code? Yeah, that goes to my YouTube channel. So go ahead and go there, leave me some comments. I'm looking out for them. I will respond, I promise you.
That's right. But we always like to start the show with the bang and show you guys a lot of viral content that is circulating all across the World Wide Web. So let's get it. Games love to throw players into treasure hunts with zero warning. Wouldn't you say, HenricK? I mean, there's
Oh
just
yeah,
too many games to
yeah,
name where you just spend
yeah.
countless hours just being like, I'm not going to be that guy that jumps to YouTube and spoils the fun. I think of Alan Wake 2 a lot of the time, right? I mean, that game is so much fun, but can be so frustrating being a detective. But 1 minute you're minding your business, the next you're like knee deep in coordinates, cryptic clues, and Google Maps tabs you swear you will close after this. But like some studios, they craft these like brilliant mysteries. Others just drop breadcrumbs and hope that someone out there is bored enough to follow them. But then again, this is where the real mysterious kind of kicks in. There is this real world quest where players leave their bedrooms and they start to, touch actual sunlight and travel across deserts because a celebrity host tweeted coordinates of a massive glowing statue just vibing in the Mojave like it's waiting for fast travel to unlock. And so, HenricK, this really got people talking. What is this going to be hyped up for at the Game Awards? Do you have an inclination?
It's one of those things that it could be several different things. And at the end of the day, I feel I'm not gonna get wrapped up in the hype of this whole thing because I feel it's just gonna
Well, that's
be
not fun.
disappointing, to
We
be
have to
honest.
challenge you. You are the co-host of Rage Quit. Are you going to be mad if you find out this was just a promotional ad for, let's say, a video game adaptation for the TV and movie universe? Or do you want to see an actual game?
No, I'd like to see an actual game tied to it, but I'm not gonna get swept up in the hype because I've had it happen so many times before that they do something cool like this because it is
Yeah.
cool, and then all of a sudden they announce that it's some whack thing that I'm not interested in
Well,
doing
let's dive
anything
deep
with.
because luckily we have awesome gamers that travel to those coordinates that Jeff Knightley posted. And this is the question I want you all to think as you were watching this video. When a mystery like that drops, are you gearing up for an adventure or watching explorers online while eating snacks and cheering them on from Civilization? I was that guy. But I'm wondering, would you make the drive? Let's go ahead and take a look.
Hey, I mean, it looks pretty cool, and we did see that picture as well of it all lit up because that video is in the daylight.
Yeah, exactly. That really shocked a lot of people. I'm sure when they travel to the day, they're like, oh my gosh, I missed out on one of the key elements to the clue. How do you solve the Da Vinci if you're not there at night, right? Well,
Yeah.
luckily, we have photos to deliver on that promise. But let's go ahead and dive right into the comments because obviously everybody wanted to turn into Sherlock Holmes when it came to this discovery. And so the first comment reads, Half-Life 3 and a new God of War installment revealed in 2 tweets. 1% chance, 99% faith. I actually was kind of seeing a little bit of Kratos's armor from, the 2018 God of War. I saw a snake
little
that
bit.
looked very familiar. I saw a bear. You know what I mean? This is starting to add up. Are we getting hyped for the new Amazon Prime show? But then again, there are reporters out there from Bloomberg that are claiming it's not a God of War IP. Then what could it possibly be? Do you have an idea? What do you
Well,
think
we've
it
also
might
got
be?
reports that it's not a Diablo thing, so
That's
it's
true.
not those two.
Could it be Path of Exile?
It could be Path of Exile. Yeah, it has that aesthetic to it. It also has the aesthetic of like Doom, that series.
Yeah, like a
But
Doom DLC. Is that what you're thinking for the Dark
could
Ages?
be.
That would
Definitely
be
could
pretty
be. I mean,
bitchin'.
they do definitely have space for a DLC in the newest Doom installment, so it could be.
Okay, we'll have to see. I think the bear is what throws me off. You know what I mean? But let's see what people have to say. Ooh, okay. Masterful gambit, Jeff. So as you can clearly see with the image, people are relating this with Half-Life because let's just dive right into the next
street
comment.
name.
Well, it says, Black Mesa Research Facility is a
Yep.
fictional underground laboratory complex that serves as the primary setting for the video game Half-Life. So, as much
Hmm.
as reporters out there are trying to tell you it's not the game, maybe it is the game. And maybe we are one step closer to getting Half-Life 3 because the Steam machine is real. It's legit. They're getting the console game now. Wouldn't that all make sense, HenricK?
It would, but throw up that picture of the poorly drawn Gordon Freeman with the copium being injected into him, because I don't think that Valve
No.
really typically does announcements like this. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's
see it
true.
being Half-Life
That's why I
personally.
kept thinking it's going to be God of War because Santa Monica Studios, California. It's easy drive, I suppose. But then again, let's shift into the real action because we got a lot more to discuss here on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. And Tim the Chat Man is going up against his chat. And Tim was going viral after blasting viewers who told him Marvel Rivals fell off and wasn't as good long term as people hoped. So Tim the Tap Man basically fired back with Marvel Rivals swept the nation because there were 0 good games out at the time. But here's the question for gamers, and I wonder, we'll let it roll first what Tim the Tap Man has to say, and then we'll throw it to our wonderful co-host, HenricK. Are we mad at Marvel Rivals for not being great, or mad at ourselves for pretending it was because we were bored? That is the real question. So let's go ahead and hear what Tim the Tap Man had to say.
L Rivals, W Arc, W Tim. Why don't you guys like Marvel? Yo, y'all are switching up, bro. Stop acting like Marvel didn't carry you from the end of last year to at least the middle of this year. There were 0 good games out, and Marvel Rivals came out and it swept the nation. It swept the world. So stop trying to act like you don't mess with Marvel anymore, okay? Marvel made you!
So crazy always hearing takes like this from people, like especially people with a big audience, because wow, you really think there's no good games out there in a long span of time? That means that you really are not playing that many games. You're probably
Well,
I mean, if I know Tim Tapman's game selection, he's probably playing the most popular competitive shooters out there.
that's what I'm thinking too, because clearly with this comment, 0 good games out. Maybe that's a sign to start trying and experimenting with different types of games. It doesn't have to
Exactly.
be games released this year. There's literally a massive library of great games from previous years to play. But I think it's not so much the argument about, I think he's talking about only the multiplayer space. And is that fair to argue that during the first half there really wasn't something to get excited for other than Marvel Rivals? I guess I'm kind of leaning towards him with that. But if you're going to bring in the whole single player experience, it's like, dog, what are you talking about? Look at some of these
Yeah,
games that
but
are on
see, that's
here.
the thing. He
Expedition
didn't
33,
say.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, no, exactly. You brought up a bunch of games right then and there that are all great choices to go expand your horizons with. But when you say maybe he was thinking multiplayer games, well, here's the kicker. He didn't say multiplayer
He didn't say
games.
that, right. But we only got
So
the tiny clip, and maybe we
wording
missed the
counts.
beginning argument. Maybe we missed the ending argument. Maybe that's our fault. Maybe we're stirring the pot. I don't know. But let's keep it rolling. When a video game ain't got guns or a ball in it. Yeah, I mean, multiplayer sports games, right? They're like, oh, man, it's not good enough
Yeah.
for my streaming quality, not for my fan base. They want to see me rage out in the game, and it's hard to do that if I
And that's
suck at
why
legendary mode and
a
only play
lot
normal
of
mode.
these a lot of these people who have opinions like this typically also looked at, what's probably going to end up being game of the year this year, Expedition 33, and was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't get to shoot anybody. Nah, it's not a game for me. Well,
Yeah, and I
actually,
can't
you
play
get to
with my
shoot people, but,
friends. My attention
don't tell them.
spans, my attention span's not there. I think I need to load into 20-minute lobby matches instead, right, HenricK?
Exactly.
It starts to
Yeah.
feel like that. And then streamer defends mediocre game that made him relevant again after like 5 years. Who would have thought? That's a little cold. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think that's the case. Tim the Tap Man is still very much blown up. It's just people like to mix it up, right? I mean, it's like Nick Merckx
Yeah.
gets a lot of crap for still playing Arc Raiders and doesn't want to jump onto Warzone anytime soon. People move on. People progress. There's a lot of great gaming out
And you
there.
can like different things. That's fine. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
let's not gatekeep now, please. But you know what, HenricK? I know you're not so much into the sporting world, but New York Giants rookie running back Cam Skattebo has gone viral, and not for anything happening on the field. No. This man, if anybody that's a gamer that doesn't watch the NFL, he suffered a serious season-ending ankle injury and immediately respawns as a Twitch streamer. It seems like everybody that's an athlete started to do that now. It's like when COVID hit, all the comedians started their own podcasts. You know what I mean? They couldn't hit the stage.
Yeah.
So when NFL players can't play, they become Twitch streamers or on Kick. Who knows? But that's when Cam Skattebo comes in. He's a big WoW fan, apparently. I didn't know people were still playing it like that. And that's like the first game
they
I'm thinking
are.
about jumping on to stream.
Are.
I did not know that. But fans are loving it too. He's chatting, laughing, streaming, building a community, and basically doing everything the Giants wish their offense would do, right? I mean, they just can't get their shit together. 2 wins, that's it. But we'll keep it about gaming, okay? Because if he comes back next season with improved footwork and maybe an improved kill-death ratio, I'd say that's character development, right, HenricK?
Yeah. I mean, he's taking advantage of the time that he has not being in season. So
yeah,
why
right,
not play some
exactly.
games at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we always joke with our parents sometimes. It's like, why are you still playing video games? Why are you still binge watching the same Netflix show? You've been on that show for like 10 hours in one day. It's no different. I'm just a little bit more active with my thumbs than you are with one remote. But tell me, gamers, is this the new normal? When a player gets hurt, do we expect them on the injury report or on the front page of Twitch? Think about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the funnier moments from Cam.
His name is
What's
D.
his name?
Bomb located by Op 4.
D?
These nuts.
So Cam, I have a question, bro.
Oh, what's your question, huh?
Cam, say you swear to God you can't tie your shoes.
I can
you
tie
use
my
strap-ons?
I can.
Okay.
I love strap-ons. Wait, hey yo.
Oh, wait, there you are.
God forbid a white boy gets some motion, huh? No, that's unrealistic, chat! What the fuck?
Nice. You're bouncing around after that?
Yeah, from the back.
Dude, stop. Wait, are you good, bro? What's happening?
I'm hitting the gritty, chat.
If I could do it in real life, I would.
I ate dirt as a kid, bro. I want to be banged by the Flash. Yeah, I mean, never mind.
What?
I want to get banged by the Flash.
Hey, you know, it does look like he is having fun though, so I can appreciate a gamer having fun doing something like
Yeah, I can clearly see why people relate to that kind of type of humor, because it just feels like he's being very genuine on screen. He's not trying to fake this kind of facade that he is on or off the field. It's like, this is the guy. If you see him in person, I'm imagining how Cam Skattebo is in real life. But that didn't stop people from wanting to comment around a lot of these viral clips. And the first one reads, "Why does it look like he's in a childhood room in his parents' house?" With a follow-up comment that reads, "Pretty sure he is. If not, will be soon after his brain goes full mush." That's a little foul there.
Wow.
Yeah. But I did laugh when that clip where he gets stuffed on like the 4th and 1. He's like, "That's not real," because that's him. He's playing as himself, and he's super mad that Madden did him dirty like that. Yeah. That's you learn the hard way sometimes when you're playing Madden 26. And then the follow-up, another comment reads, "He literally doesn't have to do any of this," laughing my ass off, "just doing it for the love of the game at this point." Yeah, I mean, once you're a gamer, you die as a gamer. I truly believe it. Until the thumbs fall off, right, HenricK?
Yeah, lower me into the ground playing my favorite video game theme.
Yeah. Forget the flowers on my chest. Put the one PlayStation controller on my chest.
Put the Halo soundtrack on.
Yeah, right. Halo soundtrack. Yeah. It needs to be an LP vinyl. Just place it right on my chest. Yep. That's right. We'll play it at the Heaven's Gates. And then some of you people are pricks. He is a bro who loves playing an effing game where he takes a ball and runs through other men trying to tackle him. He isn't an investment advisor. He isn't a doctor, man. He is having fun and living it up in his early 20s. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
What else can the guy do? He literally has well, he has been showing up on like WWE events. I've been seeing, showing up to UFC. So yeah, he's having a pretty fun, I wouldn't say off season, in season, but what can he do? If you can't play, you can't play. Have some fun, relax, and I think that's the beauty about video games, right, HenricK? It kind of keeps your mind off the pain and steady as she goes, right?
And active too, in some respect, rather than just sitting around doom scrolling, he's actually putting his focus on something,
Yeah,
other than
absolutely. So true, HenricK. And you, the gamers, we can't thank you enough for always tuning in live, whether it is on YouTube, Meta, and Twitch. And we're going to do it again. Why not? We might as well show you guys. Anybody that hasn't liked, shared, subscribed, hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel. This QR code will lead you directly to the Chris Collins Show.
And you see this glorious, glorious QR code. Well, that goes to my YouTube channel where there's tons of content. So go watch some, leave me some comments. I'm looking out for some feedback, so let me know.
That's right. And we're only getting started. This is a jam-packed show. We got so much things to discuss, so let's keep the ball rolling. Are you ready to rock and roll? HenricK the
Oh,
Wreck?
yeah. Yes, let's listen for the wins, because we're talking about where wins meet.
That's right, baby. Let's get it.
Hey everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet is a classic wuxia adventure in video game form. Developed by Everstone Games, this finally has come to Western audiences and boasts a non-pay-to-win experience while still being free to play. With a mix of single-player and multiplayer modes, you'll be fighting your way through the game's massive world and learning lots of different martial arts styles along the way via the action combat. But now the question still stands. Pause or repeat?
Hey, Chris, you ever watched Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
I have, but it's been quite some time, so don't judge me, HenricK.
Hey, you know what? It has been a while for me too. But every now and then I go back and watch some scenes because they were just really awesome action scenes.
Yeah.
And when you play a game like this, it's like you can jump straight into that action and be one of those characters.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you, HenricK. I mean, if you dropped into 10th century China today, you, the gamers, wouldn't even last 5 minutes. So luckily, we have a game called Where Winds Meet, where you're a mysterious sword-swinging warrior dropped into a world full of rival factions, hidden plots, and ancient legends waiting to be stirred awake. But HenricK, I gotta say, right in the beginning of the game, I mean, did you feel like Where Winds Meet feels like wuxia greatness, or did the tutorial stiffness make you think that your character woke up with a cramp? Because that was a... Stick with the game in the beginning. I felt like it was a bit painful.
No, I kind of get what you mean. I mean, the gameplay is solid. I had fun right off the bat with the gameplay, even in that little intro scene that isn't entirely accurate to the game that you're actually going to be playing. But
how much did that remind you of Ghost of Tsushima when they're running in the red flower fields? It was almost like a direct knockoff, trying to be like, hey, if you like something previously, you might just like our game.
Yeah. And hey, that's not a bad thing necessarily, because the presentation of Ghost of Tsushima is a great presentation for the intro of the game. And I think they did a really good job here too of kind of setting the tone of like, well, there's this high stakes sort of thing, but then they kind of, bring you back to reality, and it's kind of like really a somber, like coming into being a hero sort of story. Your character going through this long journey, which is very typical for the hero's journey in Chinese folklore. So, if you're familiar with that, it's going to be a familiar story. But as a Westerner, not really having grown up with that, it's still a little jarring sometimes when, you're doing these random, seemingly random at least, and maybe it's some lack of translation in bits and here and there, and maybe not understanding the tropes, but it feels kind of random when you're doing these things that don't feel very heroic, and you're kind of just building up your character to become that hero that you're prophesized to be, I guess you could say, at some point in the story. But at the same time, it has its charm, I could say.
Yeah, I mean, the story does its best to like mix that political intrigue, the forgotten history and mystical flair, but then the opening of the game, like the opening hours, I mean, it tosses you into an alligator roll off a horse while holding a baby. I mean, what the hell was this? I mean, I was laughing because my first reaction was like Death Stranding Wuxia edition, but here we are, right? I mean, then all of a sudden this like cutscene kicks in, and then all of a sudden the first thing I could not stop laughing. I thought of you, HenricK, was the playback speed button. Yes, gamers, they straight up. Oh, I think I might have lost HenricK. Oh, it's all good. There we are. But no, you're good. I think you maybe got a little offended that I called you out that you skipped
Yeah,
some of the cutscenes.
I had to
sometimes.
drop out for a second.
Yeah,
Chris
you were like, I don't want to hear this nonsense. He's clowning me. I don't like it. Shame on you, Chris. Shame. No, but anyways, I thought it was really funny. I've never seen that before in a game in like a long, long time. Like you can literally straight up give the players the option to watch a dramatic dialogue at 2 times the speed, like you're cramming lore for a midterm. And I know this generation, HenricK, has the attention span of a raisin, but making legendary warrior sound like a chipmunk is hilarious. Like, what a strange choice. Like, especially when you're trying to pitch this thing as a story, like 30-hour plus content campaign. Why did they feel like that was necessary?
The game has, I think they said something like 150 hours of gameplay between the story and the side
if you wanted to be like a
everything.
completionist, yeah,
so
I believe
it kind of makes sense if they say, you know what, we understand some people who play this game might want to just go rush through the story.
Maybe they counted some of, I would say, HenricK, maybe they counted some of those hours into just you looking at the gallery of character creations because, oh my gosh, I felt like I spent a full hour. Yeah, just looking at these like fan-made appearances. I mean, they were ranging from like Kanye Wang to SpongeBob SquarePants to the Joker. I mean, HenricK, I even saw Kratos and Michael Jackson that looked ready to ask where the nearest dumpling shop was at. I never laughed so hard looking at that. But then again, I know you really wanted to express your frustration with the microtransactions in this game because you have such a cool idea with the fan-made artwork, and then you want to push these ludicrous prices? Break it down.
Well, I mean, I was noticing that there's a currency tied to copying over some of the designs, which, at the end of the day, the game is free, so it's not really the worst thing in the world. And also a big selling point is that the game is not pay to win. So you're never going to feel like you have to whip out your wallet just to get that extra edge to keep up with everyone else who's trying to, do the content in the game. But I will say there are some things that end up being quite ridiculous when it comes to the cosmetics. Like there being a $40,000 boat cosmetic that you can buy. I mean, granted, you're basically buying an event and a zone for people to go and climb onto and, have a whole huge party. But $40,000, I don't think I'd be willing to spend that much on anything related to any game.
And that's only like a tiny, tiny minor gripe, but it is very, very silly. And if you are that person that does that, shame on you because you are obviously the problem of why in-game currency is such a huge demand for young kids during the holidays. I mean, it's insane. I mean, nobody's even thinking like, Daddy, Mommy, give me a physical copy. They're like, no, HenricK, I want my V-Bucks and my Robux. Oh, what a different generation we lived. But like the game basically hands you,
I was gonna say, Chris, just transitioning away from like talking about the story and the little mechanics and everything, though. Like, what did you think about the gameplay, though? Like, is the gameplay a solid experience for you? Because I feel like that's really the selling point at the end of the day for this game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go in like knowing nothing, right? I mean, they're going to hand you a sword. They're going to go, hey, go discover who you are, which is bold considering I still don't know who I am, considering the choices of my hairstyle with my character creation, but that's beyond that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, sometimes you feel like you're like this heroic swordsman, starting out, but then all of a sudden, like sometimes you're walking around like you're role playing like a lost tourist with a very sharp stick. I really didn't know where to go. I felt like the UI is a little clunky in a sense because it's all over the place and you get very overwhelmed.
There's
and
like
maybe
20 different menus.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is just me because we literally covered it 2 weeks ago on Pause and Repeat, but Arc Raiders, but Like already having to micromanage all these little gizmos already kind of overwhelms me when you have to jump into another free-to-play experience where it's like, I'm just hitting the experience button and not really thinking. It's like swipe right, regret later philosophy, if you know what I mean. Like that's kind of the idea that I took it. But when it came to the combat, did you feel like that's where the game flexes? Because I felt like that was where its strongest hold is.
Oh yeah, definitely. The combat is really the high point of the game. Like I can set aside any quirks with the menus and everything as long as the gameplay is solid.
Yeah, holds up to its
and
end.
and it really does hold up, I would say. Like there's tons of different martial arts to learn of the different weapon types, and they're all really fun. Yeah, some of the enemies can end up being a little bit just really tanky, so it feels like some encounters can end up taking a long time. But I never felt that way and then realized, oh, I just, I have the highest gear for my level. So I would always find out, oh, it's because I didn't upgrade my gear properly. And that's why
But
I'm
didn't
kind
it
of
kind of
like
feel like
lagging
when you
behind.
look at those enemies though, HenricK, like they all like match in scale? You know what I mean? There's no like small guy, there's no medium guy, there's no large guy. I mean, all the bosses are about the same height. All the people in the open world are about the same height. I was thinking there would be a little bit more variety, but I guess with the garments and the different character appearances, that's where it shines. But I don't know. That it's not much, but it's just something I noticed real quickly. But yeah, you got parries, you can dodge, there's aerial moves, there's a lot of flashy animations I'm sure your GPU will sigh over. I had no issue on my PS5 playing this game. But it does borrow that precise, I would say like Sekiro style where you have to tap at the right moment or just perish altogether. But what I highly recommend, PSA for all the gamers out there, turn off the assist deflection. I accidentally enabled it right in the beginning of the game, and it becomes so easy. You'll start wondering if this game is for you. So turn it off if you're really good at those kind of style of God of War, Sekiro games, because you're going to be like, this game is dumb. Why do I want to continue to progress with my character?
And if you're struggling, well, you know what? Just get good. That's all you got to do. Just get good. Learn the telegraphs for enemy moves, and then knowing when to parry them properly. And as long as you learn all that properly and spend the time to do so, you'll have a very satisfying combat experience.
Yeah, and there's like different weapons you can go from with like spears, there's rope darts, umbrellas, which I picked that up because I just thought it was cool and flashy. And then there's fans, for the healing. But, the bosses, however, go wild. I mean, some of the ones that kind of stood out for me were the Void King. I mean, Heartseeker's pretty early on in the game. The Earth Fiend Deity are a lot of fun to battle with friends or solo. But what shocked me the most, HenricK, I gotta say, was the Perception Forest. There is a Battle Royale mode in-game. And I felt like that was very daring of them, especially considering that it is this, to kind of set up the premise for the gamers that haven't jumped in yet. It's a separate mode from the main game where the players loot for gear and abilities rather than using your pre-existing character builds. And that was a fun twist. I haven't seen that as of yet. Not that I can think of.
With a game in this genre, you mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? To kind of like jump in and go, hey, let's jump in and start squabbling it out with our swords or whatever you can find and grab and loot. I thought that was pretty fun. Like the joke at the beginning of the show. If it doesn't have a gun or a ball in it, I don't want to play. While Where Winds Meet tries to do something daring. And I think, like, here's the catch. I mean, managing your gear, stats, map markers, and skill trees can feel like you accidentally clocked into a second shift at another live service game, like I was joking around with Arc Raiders.
Because it ends up actually being a lot. Like, you'll look through every menu and then you find 5 more somehow.
Yeah, like the content pile is huge. I mean, impressively huge. But sometimes I feel like Where Winds Meet can give aspirin a headache. I mean, it's like, and I get it. Like, that's the sticking point. It's free, right? It swings big. Yeah, there's a ton of things to explore. But when a free-to-play game asks you to micromanage like you're onboarding for HR, to me, HenricK, that's when the breeze stops feeling refreshing and starts feeling like paperwork with the view. And so,
Yeah.
sadly, I don't think I'm going to be sticking around with this game. I think it's fun in the moment it's out, but I just don't see gamers sticking along for the long overhaul. Like, what was that other game? Oh, gosh. There was another gun game that dropped earlier last year in the beginning of, or late 2024. I can't even think of the name right now. Because, see, it's irrelevant now. And I feel like this is what's going to happen with this game. Like a paper plane being thrown off a 40th building, gone and never to return. What do you say, HenricK? What are you vibing with? Is this a pause to play something new or a repeat for endless fun?
Yeah, it is a pause for me as well, which is unfortunate because this is exactly my kind of game. Like, the combat is exactly the kind of game I like. The whole massively multiplayer online aspect, I love that sort of thing. But what really holds it back more than anything is just constantly having to fight with the quirks of the game. And what I mean by that is things like the menu, or things like how sometimes you'll go into a puzzle and it feels almost like you need to know Chinese to actually solve the puzzle yourself.
Yeah.
And just things like that kind of, make me look at other games in the same genre and be like, you know what? I can enjoy the same kind of experience in this other game that is more polished,
Yeah.
doesn't have the same quirks. So I'm just going to go spend my time there instead. But I will probably hop back every now and then when I'm looking for something in this genre to just mess around and play with, because the world is massive.
Well, then
So
that
there's
starts
stuff
to
to
sound
do.
like a little bit of like a repeat then, if you might
Yeah,
jump back
but
on
not
later.
really like I'm not really like itching to go back in,
Yeah, you're not like invested. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the main questline story is a little cheesy. It was hard to take the little girl seriously in the beginning, and I kept rolling my eyes. And then all of a sudden, you see this guy that's standing at a cliffside that has an archery book that all of a sudden teaches you archery. It's like corny stuff like that, where sometimes the side quest had better stories than the main quest. You know what I mean? That like expanded the lore in the game. And so I would highly encourage, if you want to stick along for the ride, do the side quests. Do not skip them, because you might be surprised. Those have some of the better storytelling than the main line. But then again, we want to know from you, the gamers, when it comes to where wins meet. Is this a pause while you test the waters, or a repeat for endless Wuxia chaos? Let us know what's good. But we got so much more here left on Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. So, HenricK the Wreck, are you ready to rock and roll, my friend?
Oh yeah, let's get that started.
All right, let's get it. What's good, listeners? Welcome to Patch Notes, where my co-host HenricK the Wreck and I discuss gaming news, industry talk, and so much more. Let's get it. You ever notice how every year gamers say, I'm finally clearing my backlog, and then December shows up like a Steam notification that reads, sales start now. And I know, HenricK, you probably went crazy over Black Friday, just spending a
Actually, I
boatload
didn't.
of games.
I only
Oh,
bought
really?
one thing. I only bought one thing, and that was Stellar Blade, because it was on sale finally for a price that I would be willing to pay. And you know what? I am late to it, but I know the game is great, and so far I've been having a blast. So
yeah, all my subscription yearly payments all start to add up at the end of November, so that was kind of where I was at. But because even with the mountain of unplayed games tall enough to qualify as a national landmark, the industry looked at your hard drive and said, I think you got room for more. But hey, before you lock yourself indoors and pretend the calendar ends in November, maybe, just maybe, don't sleep on December, because there are some absolute heaters landing this month. And yes, you're about to see some clips. So let's go ahead and dive in. So first up, Metro Prime 4 Beyond. Samus is finally back, and honestly, this game's development journey lasted so long it probably qualified for a parking permit. Why don't I joking around like that? Because here we are. The galaxy.
Really did.
Right?
It had to get restarted after
Completely.
some failed development progress. Yeah. So
Well, that's why here we are, right? I mean, the galaxy's most stressed bounty hunter crash lands on a new world called Vuros, unlocks psychic powers, rides a motorcycle, and blasts her way through a mystery that's been cooking longer than most Steam's wish list. And so I guess it's supposed to be part FPS, part exploration, and part like, wait, she can actually do that now? I know. Shocking. And so here's the question. If you woke up stranded on an alien planet with sudden psychic abilities, would you fight your way out or just pretend the motorcycle is your new home? I know. It's going to look pretty bitchy. If you haven't seen it, let's go ahead and take a look.
I'm really tempering my expectations with this one because I love the Metroid series, but Prime 3 was a long time ago, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, when did Metro Prime 3 come out? Don't tell me that was the GameCube version, right?
That was during the Wii era.
Wii era, that's what I was going to say. I don't think I remember
Old.
playing the Wii one because I don't know. I haven't really been crazy about Metroid Prime for a very, very long time. And I'm wondering whether the youth feels the same way as well. They're like, we didn't really grow up with Metro Prime. And so when you jump in straight into Metro Prime 4 Beyond and then adding in new side characters to kind of help progress the story forward, obviously there's like that white boy that's trending right now that's like added in the game. I forgot what his name is right now. You're going to see a lot of memes all this month, I'm sure, about him because every other person that got lucky to get their hands on this game early has been saying, I feel like it might have not been necessary, after all, to add it in. But sometimes I feel like this game really might not be the AAA or quadruple A experience because, you know, you start, I mean, maybe it's cool, you know, because, you know, next year, you know, the PS Plus Premium is already, or PS Plus, excuse me, is already saying that they're moving away from highlighting PS4 games when we're embracing newer IP to show up in their streaming services. And when you start to see that Metro Prime 4 Beyond launches on Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 on December 4th, it kind of just makes you go, is this really a true Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive? I kind of go, I get a little concerned, but then again,
Well, I mean, aside from that, I mean, I just looking at the trailers, I don't know, I don't know how to feel about it just yet. I feel I won't until I actually play it. I always feel like Metroid does better in 2D though. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, as we said, this is exclusive to the Nintendo products. This will show up on the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 on December 4th. But next up, Octopath Traveler 0. HD 2D is back and looking so good it might convince you to forgive every JRPG that ever emotionally betrayed you. Yes, that is the premise around these kind of style of games because this entry shakes things up with a massive pool of recruitable characters, plus farming and town building. I was kind of giggling over that because, HenricK, nothing says heroic adventure like planting cabbage between boss fights.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to make a living as a hero, right?
I suppose so. But, I mean, it's a full console RPG, not a mobile port, and that campaign is packed tighter than your backlog. So tell me, with over 30 allies to recruit and a hometown to rebuild, are you forging an adventure or running the busiest town planning office in fantasy history? Let's go ahead and roll some of the gameplay from Octopath Traveler 0.
And that series, Octopath Traveler, just always does the aesthetic they're going for so well.
Yeah.
No exception to that. And aside from just the aesthetic, I mean, the other games in the series have been fantastic. So Definitely keeping my eye on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they really wanted to tell the gamers that it's an upcoming game loosely based on Champions of the Continent. It's a mobile prequel to the original Octopath Traveler, but they're claiming it's something completely different. It's just based around that premise. And so if you really vibe with the mobile game, oh, wait, why are we even talking mobile game? We got a lot of crap on TikTok saying that mobile games aren't video games. Sorry. Hate to even mention that. But that's what the premise of Octopath Traveler 0 is going to bring. And yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that it revolves around 8 character parties. And yeah, you got a wide variety of recruits to choose from. And so if Octopath Traveler 0 is for you, it launches on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo Switch 2 on December 4th. Man, the gift that keeps on giving. They haven't forgotten about anybody. So that's really, really cool. And then finally, Code Violet. Dinosaurs, horror, PS5 exclusive? Only in 2025 could those 3 things combine into a game that looks like someone merged Jurassic Park with your most stressful dream. And it's set in a future where humanity moved away, invented time travel, became infidel, and then started kidnapping women from the past to serve as incubators? What the hell? I mean, it already sounds really cool. And it's already unhinged before we even get to the part where prehistoric monsters crash the party. I'm a little excited for this. I think this is going to be really, really bitching. It's third person. It's creepy. It's violent. And again, it's a PS5 exclusive, so maybe these dinosaurs are so massive it would melt HenricK's PC. I don't know. But again, be honest. If dinosaurs were chasing you and time travel scientists wanted to use you as a science project, which threat are you running away from first? Think about it. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
It's so funny. Were you not just saying recently that you wish there was a Dino Crisis?
I know. I was just thinking that in my head. I'm like, this is the closest thing we'll ever get to Dino Crisis. This thing looks freaking amazing. It kind of looks a little stiff in the movement, but maybe they're trying to go for that Resident Evil third-person approach. And some of the bullets that you can see in the guns seem very limited. Like, it's not like you got an extra clip. It's like, nope, you only got 30 in the chamber. Use it wisely as you start to maneuver boxes or go stealth mode. And I'm ready to be terrified. I'm ready to fear the dinosaurs all over again. What do you say, HenricK?
Hey, yeah, it looks like it's got some great potential to fill that niche that Dino Crisis hasn't filled in a long time. And I mean, they got to bring that back. And if this game does successful, maybe they will. Maybe they actually will see that there's an audience for it.
Yeah, and I think it's quite interesting that Sony feels like this is the game that they're willing to gamble on to make it an exclusive to get enough people excited that they go, oh man, I wish I could play that on PC, and then drops a year later from now. We will have to soon wait and find out on that. But then again, Code Violet launches exclusively for PS5 owners on December 12th. And if there's a game we didn't mention that you think deserves some love, let us know what's good. But all right, HenricK, on the topic of recent bold statements making waves in the tech world, break it down.
Tim Sweeney, does this name compute with you? Do you know the name?
I know, right?
Well,
turn to
if
the
you
comments.
don't, then let me tell you right now, he is the Epic Games CEO. Yeah, the guy that is basically top dog for Fortnite, when you think about it.
Oh, yeah,
But
the sandbox.
he hopped on this week and basically declared, quote, AI is in everything now, so stop labeling it like it's gluten-free.
How many times have we heard that this year?
Exactly, right? So, when you think about that, what is he even, meaning by that? Well, he was responding to a tweet saying digital marketplaces should ditch the made with AI tag entirely. Because at this point, AI is everywhere. And he's pointing fingers exactly at Steam when he talks about this. You know, his competitor in the space between Epic Game Store and Steam.
Yeah, I know, fair
So,
enough. But it's also being used as a creative tool when it comes to almost everything, right, Henrik?
yeah. In some respect, it is. You know, artwork. A lot of it ends up being AI.
AI, right?
Background NPC chatter, probably AI in some
AI,
respect.
yep.
That weird line of dialogue, especially that sounds like someone stitched together 3 different emotions.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
definitely
it's not
AI,
some
right?
weirdos writing something. It's definitely just an AI writing that for it.
Ubisoft's Ghost Rider.
Exactly. And Steam still does require devs to label AI made content, and they've had this rule in place since 2024. So Tim Sweeney's out here arguing that keeping the label makes about as much sense as labeling content made with Photoshop or Unreal Engine 5. Which, I mean, yeah, duh. A lot of games are made with those 2 tools, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
So
right.
what's the point? Well, that's for the gamers to decide in our comments. Are we
Yeah,
protecting consumers, or are we just putting a neon sign on technology that everyone's already using?
I like
Take a
how you
look.
phrased it like that. That's so true. Let's dive right on into the comments because the first one reads, and the games will still be released unfinished and need patches. With the follow-up
Yep.
comment that reads, and it's only going to get worse. Do you feel like that's the case? I mean, it is pretty much everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of people still utilizing this AI tech. I mean, Arc Raiders was something that like some people were having an issue with when it came to the comms, you know, the communications inside the
True,
game, but
yeah,
that hasn't
yeah.
stopped people from still exploring the game. Is it going to become a
Right.
point where we just have to, you know, I mean, yeah, we need to support the artists, but it's also, it's still a massive tool today. But then I get where some people think, because think about it when how many times, like what with The Witcher, right? When they drop their trailer and they have to go not real in-game, you know, gameplay or whatever the hell,
Mhm.
I'm blanking out on the lower third that they always use in game. They're like, not real gameplay footage. How many times have we seen a cinematic trailer that looks nothing like the video game? It's no different than when you see these AI labels on Steam. It doesn't harm you. I feel like most consumers don't even see that label most of the time when they're buying video games. They just see a really cool artwork, they see really cool gameplay footage, and they go, "That's for me. I want to play it." But then again, maybe I'm dead ass wrong. But let's keep it rolling because the next comment says, too bad they don't envision digital storefronts being well designed. With the follow-up
Ooh.
comment that reads, they think that spending 20 minutes loading into a game storefront is good because that means you aren't looking at Steam, laughing out loud, billion-dollar company, by the way. Is there a fair
They're
point
talking
to
about
that?
the Epic Game Store and how, you know, it is still not actually as good of an experience as Steam somehow.
Yeah. Well, there's already too many storefronts to begin with, so it's
Yeah.
that's already a headache alone. But you don't have that problem when you're a console player. Maybe just too many subscription services. Like I actually was like, oh my god, I actually paid another year of EA Play. Thank the Lord, it was only $40 for the year. I totally forgot. No. Well, let's keep it rolling because there is no good argument to reduce transparency, regardless of where you stand on AI. With a follow-up comment that reads, the Steam disclosure doesn't say whether it's a good or bad, just that it's there. Literally, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I really don't see
Yeah,
why it's an issue, but
it's not.
the fact that like so many developers and artists have come after Tim Sweeney, they clearly feel like it needs to be a standard for the rest of these storefronts to follow what, you know, clearly Valve and Steam has been doing with their PC storefront. And
Well, it almost feels like when he says something like this that he's trying to defend the developers that use AI and are scared that their game is going to get snubbed because they're labeled as having used AI. Well,
yeah,
as we've seen with a game like Arc Raiders, and like you were saying, I don't think gamers really actually care as long as the gameplay is good and the experience is solid.
yeah,
If
I think the only thing
if
that
it's
would piss
not,
people off
and
is
it's
like,
also using AI, then they're just going
yeah,
to flame it even more because now
yeah,
you took a shortcut, it's going to look like, and you still didn't deliver a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was dropped and all that AI artwork was starting to show up, and they're like, oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
was that character that was you have to pay $15 for made from a chat GPT prompt that turned this into a character so they can make money from it? Shouldn't that just be given to us for free since you didn't actually put your soul into the design?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But then
Yeah.
again, a lot of people still got suckered by it. And then you got another comment that reads, Steam also discloses which DRM games uses, which anti-cheat measures are in place, whether a game has a difficulty option, subtitles, sound options, and a plethora of other information on features which are expected in 99% of games. Should Steam stop showing that information as well? More information is a good thing. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it hurts
Yeah.
anybody.
It doesn't.
You
It's
know?
like looking at, we don't get the manuals for games anymore. So it's kind of like getting to see the manual of a game before buying it.
Yeah, but I just haven't met a gamer yet in real life that's like, oh yeah, man, I'm not gonna buy that game because it's got AI features in it. I don't know. I haven't met one gamer yet. But then again, join the chat. Chat is open. Am I dead ass wrong? Are you one of those people that are like, I will not put my dinero towards it? Let me know. But if anything, Steam needs to be more strict on this. Too many games release without the disclosure and then add it weeks later. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 added it after 2 weeks. Yeah, I guess one of the maps added more artwork slapped all over the ramps and stuff like that or the walls. But most gamers in a lot of the Reddit threads would argue, at least from what I saw online, were like, I see it, I recognize it, but I would have never known. And I think that's the point that Tim Sweeney's trying to say. A lot of people are going to use this where they might utilize that AI to work around their own assets within their own studio to be able to build upon already the art that was made by creators, not some of the argument where it was like Ghostwriter AI, which was like Ubisoft trying to fill the void for NPCs in their open world, and then having someone that's a PA that's in the writer's room that's like, hey, why don't you go ahead and clean up all the dialogue that has grammar issues? I think that's where people have a massive problem when it comes to AI. And then the last comment that we got here is the biggest issue is a simple yes/no AI disclosure. Not give enough context. Is it generative AI for art or music assets? Is it training for NPC interactions or locomotion? Is it AI-assisted programming tools? A simple AI was used in the development tag. Does not tell you much. But
That's a good point.
But when you do go on Steam, though, and I know we only showed one example on Steam, you will kind of see that the developers have to submit the note to Steam, and then once Steam approves it, then they place it on their storefront. So, yeah, maybe it could be a little bit more flushed out. We're only barely into this thing, and yeah, it's pretty wild when you consider it. But HenricK, is this an honest call for clarity or the industry's version of just don't ask, don't tell? It is what it is. This is the
like one of
future.
those comments said, there's nothing wrong with just labeling it. Like, why are we trying to take more information away from the gamers at this point? Like, that just doesn't have any need. Maybe you think it's unnecessary, but like I was saying, maybe it is going to be something unnecessary looking for those who deliver a game that isn't good and uses AI. Because at that point, then people are going to say, oh, you delivered a game using AI and you still didn't give me a good experience. What happened? Well, I think that's a fundamental problem of the game itself, but that doesn't mean you should go take away the AI label necessarily.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the AI label needs to stay. I mean, it helps distinguish between the real artist and what some might call as AI slop. There are studios out there, like companies. I could think of like Nintendo have already spoken out and say we will never embrace any of our exclusive titles with any kind of AI at all. Obsidian Entertainment have said the same thing as well, that they don't plan on using generative AI anytime soon in the near future. Maybe that might change real soon. But I have this note here, HenricK, which I thought was really interesting. In July, research from Totally Human Media found that 7,818 titles on Steam now disclose generative AI usage. That's 7% of Steam's entire library, roughly 114,000 plus titles. That's 1% higher the prior year. So
It's a lot.
it's a lot, and it's only
Yeah.
going to continue to climb. So tell me, gamers, should AI labels stay, disappear, or would removing it change anything at all? Let us know what's good. But let's get the ball rolling because AI is popping up again. Ubisoft has decided that the future is now revealing a brand new generative AI experiment that basically wants to turn your NPC squad mates into Amazon Alexa with better aim. And what is this? Well, the project is called Teammates. Yeah, very creative name. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, you're going to have this AI companion named Jespar, and think of him as that one friend who always has your back, except this one actually listens when you yell, yo, cover me, where are you? Instead of being like, yo, sorry, I'm still looted. Yeah, I'm having a lot of those problems. Or I have a buddy of mine where I'm like, dude, where are you? He's like, I don't know how to get down. Bro, you're killing me, Smalls. You need to stick onto me like super glue, damn it. But the whole experiment is about using voice to command your squad in real time. These AI-enhanced teammates react, talk back, make decisions, and to support the player on the fly, which sounds cool until one of them develops a personality and then maybe starts judging you for your stealth skills, HenricK. Then I'm going to have to cut you loose, let you run wild in the forever digital realm world that you're going to be placed in for eternity or never. Can we cut those things off? I don't know. But are you sure it's
Maybe
a good
not.
idea? I mean, I'm sure this thing's going to be like trolling me nonstop if I ever use this teammate. Like, are you sure it's a good idea to keep camping in the same corner for the entire match? I go, yeah, that's how Black Ops 7 was created, okay? I ain't running out there. I'm going to get clipped. But gamers, are we witnessing the next evolution of companion AI, or are we just one patch away from our NPCs demanding better working conditions? Because who knows? Is this the next Terminator? But I want to know what the comments have to say, because the first one says, nice, keep it up. As stocks continue to drop.
Look at those stocks. Not looking good, Ubisoft.
Yeah, I mean, there has been rumors that the French developers are in talks of a potential buyout. I mean, Tencent's got about 10% of stake, and so don't be surprised if, you know, China comes in and swoops the whole developers and takes it to a niche that will only, I'm sure, will excel. I mean, Tencent is massive over there. You know, I mean, they are no joke. But then you also get comments that read, the anti-AI people immediately responding to this are actual NPCs. No thinking at all, just knee-jerk reactions. Grains of sand are smarter than you. Damn. So some people just feel like, you know, everybody just makes AI into some massive hype that isn't what it is, and maybe it might actually be kind of cool. I remember when I was playing those Navy SEAL games back on my PSP, it would be kind of cool if I could open up the mic and be like, yo, go left, instead of having to like control the beacon to click where I need him to draw.
You're talking like the Rainbow Six, the original Rainbow Six games, not Siege, but like the ones where you're actually doing SWAT missions.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, go around the corner and I need you to stall. Stall for like 10 seconds and then progressively move forward slowly. Because a lot of the times it's like if you go and click into it's a corner, he's running. Or maybe they're walking too slow. If you can actually give it a verbal command and can listen on cue, I think that's kind of cool. I mean, we're seeing a lot of games right now where it's like, what's the one? Don't scream. They have to use like AI technology to be able to hear your voice. Or you get those other games where they manipulate your voice with your friend, where it feels like, you know, why does he sound like the villain? And why is he using my voice?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's all these like different quirks that could be kind of exciting and different that we haven't seen before. And maybe that's when AI kind of makes it a little cool. But then you're also going to get comments that say, stop forcing AI into effing everything. Nobody asked for it. Everyone hates it. until you ask Siri, hey, I'm lost in downtown LA in the concrete jungle. How do I get back to the 101 freeway? I mean, doesn't it kind of feel like that in a sense? It's like everybody acts like AI is like something brand new as of last year or 2 years ago. When wouldn't you say jumping on Google and being able to jump into the search bar and having like endless feeds of artificial intelligence tell you the direction of where to find that clue?
Well, this is something different than what people think of. I mean, AI is the whole buzzword nowadays, but technically, games have been using AI for a long time. Because think about it, how are the NPCs in even a game like Halo, the original Halo, moving around autonomously? Well, they developed a pretty not like super advanced AI like what we have right now, maybe, but they have some sort of intelligence to be able to respond to the situations that are happening in the game in real time. And that itself was even called AI back when that was made.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
now, when you have something like this, I get what they're saying. They're throwing in the buzzword of AI, and it's making it seem like it's the AI that everyone hates.
Right, like the
But,
art.
you
That's
know,
what people are saying, or like,
exactly.
oh, why is that like stealing from some of my favorite anime? I get where that's coming from, but then
Yeah.
you're also gonna get people that get excited for this kind of stuff. Like people are gonna hate, but this is kind of interesting. Can we just check it out first before we all start judging, fam? I mean, what happened to just exploring, having fun, and trying something new? Maybe people aren't willing to jump to that near future. And then can we get this AI to replace your CEO so that we, the gamers, have an actual teammate there for once? So some people feel like Ubisoft has not been delivering on their promise for good games, even though they are working on a remastered of Assassin's Creed Black Flag that's supposed to be like more RPG elements in it. Maybe the AI
Yeah.
is helping. Who knows?
Maybe. Actually, probably.
Right? And then can someone explain to me why this game or this is getting hated? Seems like one of the better use cases for AI. It's not replacing employees. It might, you know what I mean? Or
That's
you
the
get
thing. It might be.
yeah, or you get like the voice license from one of your favorite actors, and then like Troy Baker, and then it's like you can have a Troy Baker running around with you everywhere, but it's not legitimately hid. I mean, we just saw it with Fortnite and Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Like those were some elements that people really, really loved, but then also manipulated the AI to say a lot of naughty things. But then
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
when I start seeing all these like cool AI companions, my mind starts to wander into a tinfoil hat conspiracy. And so this is where I'll throw it at you, HenricK. Are we pushing NPCs forward, or are we just helping companies build something one patch away from their own digital ghost in the machine?
Yeah, when it comes to something like this, it's a little bit less black and white. At least I feel it should be a little less black and white for people who are, strongly opposed to AI because like I was saying, I mean, games have been using AI for a long time and maybe this is just an evolution of what we had 15, 20 years ago, on the first Xbox, you know.
Right.
So, when you think of it from that perspective, yeah, it is kind of cool to be able to actually converse with a companion in a game and maybe, think of it like if you're playing a game like there hasn't been an army of two in a long time and that game series really is meant to be played with another person. But what if you could play a game like that with an NPC that actually reacted to you talking to them like you were in the room with them? That
Yeah.
would be kind of cool,
See, I
actually.
think that's a cool element compared to like, let's say that AI companion feature drops in like, let's say Arc Raiders, and all of a sudden your companion is balling out way better than you, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you the gamer's gonna be pissed off at this new AI tech because you're like, this game's killing it for everybody. We have no real humans actually playing in the multiplayer, you know, environment. Now we have to worry about these advanced bots in game. What happened to the shitty Fortnite bots that literally run in circles and run into walls? It's a house. Yeah, you can use the door or leap through the window. And I can see why that could be problematic to a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes you wonder. And so let's just leave it off like this for a lot of the gamers that are tuning into Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. Are we just making smarter NPCs for the game, or secretly building in a network of AI that learns from every player command to evolve into something that's bigger than the game itself? Let us know what's good. But all right, HenricK the Wreck, there's no doubt when Santa Claus is coming to town, gamers have already drafted a wish list longer than their backlog.
Oh, yes. And, turns out this year, Santa's sleigh is packed with more than just controllers than candy canes this year, because
Yeah, right.
3 in 5 kids are asking Santa Claus or their parents, video games is what's on their wish list. And shockingly, they actually want to play the games with their parents. And that's kind of interesting, because I think a lot of these parents wouldn't want to. I think a lot of these parents the video game
us
in front of their
millennials
kids.
are becoming parents now, and we grew up on those consoles with the PS1 all the way up. And so
That's true.
It's not like hey, you're hogging the arcade cabinet. Get off, man. We have multiple controllers nowadays, HenricK.
But according to the latest research from the Entertainment Software Association, or ESA, 58% of kids are hoping for a game-related gift. That reminds me of when I was a kid, actually, because I always wanted some sort of video games.
Always. You're always salty. It's like, oh, thanks, Mom, for the boxers. Thanks for the socks. Yeah, I need more socks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the new toothbrush.
Yeah. But then you look back and you're like, actually, I needed all that.
No,
stuff.
you need that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
BO is still a massive problem at TwitchCon, apparently. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You still need to put the deodorant in the stockings. But yeah, go on, HenricK.
Yeah, and that puts video games right up there with gifts like money, gift cards. Those are at 69%, and clothes and accessories like socks. Everyone needs socks, at 63%. So here's the real kicker, though. Almost half of U.S. kids want in-game currency for Christmas.
That's really
like
changed
V-Bucks,
from our
for example,
generation.
or
Robux
coins. Yeah, so that's right. They want these digital coins that'll vanish faster than holiday cookies at grandma's house, because those go
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. Wait. Why are you moving on from that game? I just paid $15 for your outfit. No, we're playing Where's Wins Meat now.
Like, what?
I need $40,000.
No, what about my skin I just bought?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah. So gamers, are kids really asking for family fun, or are they just hoping to turn us into full-time sidekicks in their digital worlds? Let's take a look.
Not until those AI companions kick in, and then they're going to leave you in the dust, you parents out there.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and dive right on into the comments, because the first one reads, when did everything go wrong? With the follow-up comment that reads, horse armor? So
that was the
maybe
start.
we're the generation to blame. We got suckered in to all these microtransactions and DLC, so don't blame the youth. Look yourself in the mirror. We are the ones to blame. And then you also get comments like this. I have 3 boys. They all know I have no virtual currency policy. They know what my reasons are and agree with me. They also know I'm happy to buy real games for Christmas. The oldest is getting Ghost of Yotei. Middle is getting Pokemon Legends ZA. And the youngest gets Jurassic World toys and Lego. His request. They also will get a few non-gaming things. It's up to the parents to teach the kids what has value and what's predatory, a ripoff, or a scam, including gambling disguised as a gameplay mechanic. Yeah,
this actually is a good parent. And you can tell because they've taught their kids that there isn't as much value in the in-game cosmetics compared to a full game experience. And I appreciate that they didn't just outright say, no, I'm not going to fund your gaming escapades. No, we'll hold off on the in-game cosmetics, and instead let me buy you actual games for you to play other than, say, Fortnite. And, maybe you'll have fun with that cosmetic for a few minutes, but it'll get old eventually.
EAFC,
yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden you're investing in your ultimate team that can't be picked up and delivered in the next year's installment. So yeah, it is very predatory, and they really should try to figure out how to do something different. But hey, they keep selling, they keep thriving, so they ain't gonna change anytime soon. But my wife's slob cousins introduced my kids to Roblox over the summer. I'll never forgive them. We're going through hard drug-like withdrawals, getting it out of their lives currently. I cannot begin to describe how awful those games are for kids. And yeah, we've discussed it numerous times. We don't need to indulge any further. But yeah, I would highly not recommend showing Roblox to your kids. There are so many better games out there, especially when you can invest in a streaming service like Xbox Game Pass, or there's a lot of PC storefronts. I don't know if young kids really should be in front of a PC. Actually, let's scratch that. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of places where you go. I mean, shoot, Netflix is starting to get on board with bringing your mobile device as a controller to then be able to play some of your favorite family games. Like we covered, Lego Party's coming into the mix. It's a knockoff, or not really a knockoff, but it's their competition towards Mario Party. So there's different avenues where you can get your kid involved in something that's not suckered into Robux and thinking that, oh, Dad, I need to have a new hat. I need a new hat on my character because all my friends are judging me at school. And then adults allowing their kids to get addicted to live service games is honestly sad. But, you know, that's kind of the future. I mean, there's a lot of kids jumping on playing Fortnite, Lego Fortnite, Lego Odyssey. You know what I mean? Is what it is. Yeah, I do think it's a little crazy when I hear my buddies spending money on Fortnite shoes for a banana peel slipper. That makes me question life and where we're going in the next century. Just some of our millennial choices out there. But then I remember opening a big R2-D2 robot as a kid, or Devastator Transformer, and it was the toy of the year for me. I even still have the R2-D2, even if it doesn't work nowadays. Christmas has gotten to be so boring. Just Fortnite V-Bucks cards and envelopes and maybe a controller for your console. I played games too as a kid, but at least you had a physical case to open and use. I'm 25, but this makes me feel old as F. You're not old.
Yeah, you're not even
at the point where you can say you're having a midlife crisis. You're having a quarter of a century event happening in your livelihood. But yeah, it is kind of wild when, like, even like you said, you know, like they're looking for the in-game currency, HenricK, but they also want money in gift cards right behind. I've always kind of felt like that during the holidays. Go the extra mile for your family and try to get them something kind of physical. Doesn't always have to be video games, even though this is Rage Quit Video Game Talk Show. We're always boosting about playing games 24/7. But, like, you know, put a little bit of thought in the holidays. Don't you think, HenricK?
Yeah, something that when they look at, they'll remember that you got it for them.
Exactly. And then the last comment reads, ESA survey also found that 58% of children want to play more games with their parents. Guess who's getting Mario Kart and a second controller instead of V-Bucks? So there you go. There are a lot of different options
Time
in the
to
holidays
rage.
where you
Time
can
to rage
definitely,
with your kid.
right,
Your kid.
ditch
Have your
the
kid rage at
in-game
you.
currency. Yeah, they don't need to have any of that nonsense. It's like until they can figure out the presidents on the U.S. dollar bills and your $5 bill and your $20 bill, then maybe just no. But HenricK, are we nurturing the next generation of gamers, or just signing up for 12 straight hours of yelling at controllers and explaining loot boxes? Because that's kind of what it's starting to be like if kids are embracing in-game currency for the holidays.
Yeah, when you look at statistics like this is exactly the sort of thing as to why people say that the next generation is cooked. like, come on, guys. Like, we need to teach the youngins that there is value in things more than just an in-game cosmetic. Like, let's actually give each other a good experience playing a game. Like, I really appreciate that comment where the parent was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell my kids that I'm not going to get them an in-game currency in anything, but instead I'll get them games. So they can still play games, but actual games, and not just spend $20 on a car in Fortnite just because it looks cool.
But isn't that what's so wild? It's like us growing up, we had games that were actually complete. Not like, hey,
That's
get
true.
the special edition, get this blah, 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 premium edition. Oh, did you, like, we were talking about the mysterious statue in the middle of the Mojave Desert. I swear, like, yeah, that's cool for Doom the Dark Ages if it apparently becomes a DLC. But every time I see a DLC or some kind of expansion, I just start to wonder, Shouldn't that have been a part of the game to begin with? Why do I have to pay the extra $1 for that? Like, why? But then again, you get big expansions like from Cyberpunk 2077 was almost
Phantom
like
Liberty,
like half a game alone. And so
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a whole new world. It's like, yeah, it all started with like Call of Duty and having to buy the 4-pack maps, and you're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, the map packs.
I
Yeah.
was one of those people too back then. I know. Do I
It
regret
was
it?
them and Halo.
Hell,
Them and Halo did that.
right, but I regret it even more considering how like every new installment with the Call of Duty franchise is always bringing back those same maps, and it's like, why did I pay for that 4-pack again? Oh my gosh, painful. But then again, tell me, gamers, would you actually play alongside your kids, or are you giving them the controller and calling it parenting? Let us know what's good. But man, this has been such a jam-packed show. That's what happens when you come back from the Thanksgiving break. And we can't thank you, the gamers, for always tuning in live, whether it is YouTube, Meta, and Twitch. And for those who haven't checked out our YouTube channels, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show.
And you see that QR code right there. Go ahead and scan that one because it goes to my YouTube channel as well. So while you're there, hit that subscribe button and leave me some comments because I'm looking out for them. I want to know what I'm doing good so I can be even better.
That's right. And you, the gamers, have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you soon, fam. Peace.
See ya.